Alright, well, we are finally back. Finally back. I have been away sick for the last week or so, and so I've finally only gotten back to it. It is the 16th of August now. Yeah, that's like more than a full week that I've been away. So I'm just gonna note this date down before I forget. So I am going to hopefully be able to get rid of all the coughing fits that may happen in editing, basically. But apologies if I don't. And because of this, I guess, lost week of time, it does mean that I need to kind of hurry things up a little because I have a fairly limited amount of time for data collection, and this is not the biggest game that I need to play. So what I did, I went through and had a bit of a browse online, checked to see whether or not there are actually like multiple endings for this based on, you know, the amount of completion of the database that you have. It doesn't seem like there are, so I may just call it once I feel that I can't really extract more information without, you know, spending too long. So that is... Oh, cat, do not. There is one of my cats trying to play with my pencil that I am using for note-taking. Oh dear. I'm really sad, actually, that because this game is very much about looking at video clips and, like, you know, listening and watching to what Eve, Hannah, both are saying, I haven't been able to yap as much as I would like, but I should be able to yap more in Hypnospace Outlaw and Blueprints, so that'll be fine. But I just want to reflect on the way that using the archive felt from like a user slash gameplay mechanic perspective. From last time, actually, I'll just go back to the mirror game. This is fine. This is good to keep me occupied while I'm talking. So I kind of felt that using tags, at least for me, the feeling of using tags. Now, I of course I'm saying this purely about myself. I'm not sure what other archive users might think of this, but if you're not taking, you know, notes about the specific tags that you're using, and you're making sure that it doesn't line up with other things that could potentially already be something that you're searching for, that might, you know, appear in the transcript for these videos, like, it can then be, you know, hard to actually use them for search, right? And so what kind of, I think, ended up happening was that I didn't end up using them beyond just putting them there. With the exception of, like, maybe like one or two times where it was like I saw something and I specifically decided, yes, I need to come back to this. And something similar, I guess, is true of this clips stored in user session thing down the bottom. I feel like I didn't really I haven't really used that much beyond what... beyond just like putting stuff there, and I don't even remember coming back to this like a week and a bit later. I don't remember my logic behind putting stuff down there beyond like, I put stuff down there to come back to it, but do I remember why I need to come back to it? No, not at all. So I don't know if this is the kind of thing that people normally feel when they are working with archives. But you know, it's that's the kind of experience, the user experience, as it were, that I am having with this particular take on it. So I might actually see if I can. It doesn't look like there's a way to unpin these, but you know, it would be nicer if there were. So, having come back to this after a break, we can see a lot of pretty much everything stayed the same, right? I'm just gonna move that over there. We had Helen in the search box. Everything in the search box is as we've left it, including the query history. It really bugs me that this is sorted with the most recent thing last instead of first. I think usually it would be the most recent thing first, and then it would go back reverse chronologically. You can see we've got all of these clips still stored, the search was maintained. This is what our database looks like. It is, what, this is 50% complete, maybe. I dare say it's even less than that. But, you know, we've got some amount of cohesion. And if you were a really dedicated archives user, you probably would have been taking notes as you went about, you know, when each clip is and what specific keywords to use when you want to look at it so that you can string together the whole story, right? I am not usually that kind of player. As much as I am details oriented in real life, I am not that in games, mostly. Unless there is, I guess, a specific mechanical reason, a specific gameplay reason why I would need to be outside of the narrative. This will become important later once I start playing Blueprints, actually, because that is one of the rare games where I have taken notes for the sake of lore. And that was because of there is a mechanical reason to do so, because there are puzzles locked behind the lore. But in this case, where it's pure, I guess, where it's pure, you go until you're satisfied. And there is no strict gameplay outcome based on your being able to sort things into a timeline of events, as far as I remember. My natural tendency is simply not to do so. So, as I said today, we're going to go, hello kitty, we're going to go until I basically feel satisfied, because technically we could already exit. We could already say, yep, we're done. But I want to see if we can go just a little bit longer and find a few more things. When I was doing my search online to see whether there were multiple endings, one of the things that I did see was a little discussion thread being like, are they twins or is it multiple personalities? I don't actually remember. I don't even remember if I did do 100% completion originally, but I figure it may as well be worth a search. Okay, none of those words worked. Okay, let's have a look at some of the... Oh, okay, that was literally just the blank search. Okay. Let's have a look at some of the... Oh yeah, and wildcards didn't work, which we would expect them to in a normal archive, but not this one. So let's see. about one of the ones that we have a lot of, but might be worth digging into more to see if we can find extras. Okay. Searching for Hannah and Eve together only gets us these two. What about Hannah Smith? Because they were married. Yeah, only these two. Okay. What about Simon Smith? Simon comes up quite a few times. 61 times, in fact, being as he is the murder victim. But what about narrowing it down to his... Okay, just the one. These were the first 5 that we looked at. I don't remember what each one is. That one, names, blank, family tree. Yeah, you can tell I didn't get much use out of that tag. What about Simon... Actually, let's say Simon Work. Okay, here we go. Here's a new one.
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up, Simon was already up, and he made me birthday breakfast of Eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday, then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway, and Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
Okay, so now we know about the argument and why she left, supposedly, to Glasgow, I suppose. It was a birthday thing. Interesting about her being merely okay with the present. I wonder what it was. So we might search for that after as well.
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that. It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal.
Takeaway?
He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Okay, that time she says she didn't like it rather than it was just okay. Which is interesting. As you'll recall, these are sorted in chronological order, so here she's saying that she doesn't like it, here she's saying that it was okay. Hello, Katie. He keeps coming by. He's wanting attention today. Hello, do you want to sit down? He does not want to sit down. He just wants to have attention. Who's a good boy? Mwah. Oh, no, there we go. He's become a loaf on my lap. How cozy. Anyway, these may or may not be. They one may be Eve, the other may be Hannah. So I said we would search for present, didn't I? Okay, we've got some new ones as well.
About 8 years back, it was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Did we search for baby earlier? I don't remember. Yes, we did. There were 17. 17 results.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her.
Oh.
So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Which is to say that how it happened was entirely accidental. But, yeah, that's really not great. But also, that idea of the present being unique. Oh, only there. Okay. So he gave it to both of them, essentially. Which, that's not great. Did I search for argument at some point? I don't see it. No, wait, here, argument 9. We did search for argument. Actually, one thing that I do want to check. What was the tag that I used for the knock code? Did I just call it code? Yeah. So I was wondering about telling the two of them apart. Whether or not the sleeves were a differentiating factor, but it doesn't seem so. I did think that if the sleeves were all the way down on her arms, then it might be Hannah, but no. If this is Hannah, who specifically said in the middle of that recording, why did I mention Eve, or something along those lines, that's probably not the case. I mean, it is also possible, right, that it is Eve acting as if she is Hannah and making a play of it, but dunno. It is hard to say, but if we go back over here, I actually only have sleeve up one saved. Let's see, where were ones that had her with sleeves fully down? So yeah, here's one of them from the 27th. Actually, no, where was the very first, I want to know where the very first, oh, no hello, no hi, probably. Oh no, there is hi, okay. I think this is the first one?
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Let's see, is that from... Yeah, so that one is from the first sequence. The first interview sequence. So that happened on the 18th. Add to session. No, it's adding at the very end. It adds at the end and not at the front. Oh, I hate that. I hate that for me. I want reverse chronological order, please. But actually, I didn't notice, but this has turned up another video that we haven't looked at yet.
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful.
So where was the high in that? Sorry, I need to...
No. I'm not sure what strange would be, but he hasn't been acting odd. He's been busy at work, but nothing too stressful.
Was that picking up the high in his? That's kind of funny, actually. I want to see if... Yeah, okay, all of those must just be picking up the high in his. Oh my gosh. Strange. I want to see if strange and odd pop up anywhere else, actually. Strange and odd. Okay. Nothing particularly new. I do want to go back to baby and see if we can narrow some of this down. Birth. Probably not. Want. Ooh.
Then she told me she wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean with Simon about me. I was family. I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
Sorry, I need to... There was quite a bit in that. There are words that I think I would want to search for, but I'm not sure.
She wanted to help more. She said I should move in with her. She would come clean.
Maybe move?
I was family. I couldn't have a baby in a bedsit. I told her I didn't want to tell Simon. Told her to wait for the time being.
And maybe wait as well. Yeah, okay.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD.
Oof.
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? That seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Okay. Quite a lot in that one as well, but... That's rough. I don't remember what the other thing that I said I wanted to search for. Did I already search for it? I don't think I did. Did I search for pregnant already? Yes, I did. There were 10. There were 2 for pregnancy. Let me watch that again.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding.
I don't know if I searched for wedding before.
Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, in parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished.
Might be worth searching for this as well.
But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
And betray.
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter.
I might stop it there. So, there were a couple of things. Have I already searched for wedding? See, I would want to be able to search my previous search terms. Okay, new one. Nice.
Yeah, we were 17.
Lots of
It was
note
a
of
nice
that
wedding,
number.
people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
What else did I say I would search for? Okay.
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
Okay, that was quite short. What else? I should have made notes. I should have made notes on paper. Why did I not write on a post-it note this time? I've been doing that this whole time. Oh, okay, this actually turned up quite a few things. I wasn't expecting that much.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? Isn't that private?
Can you hear my cat just trying to scratch through things? I'll be right back. Can you not, buddy? Alright. I think I've said before I want this to be minimally edited, so the only things I will be cutting out will be any coughing that I do, because no one wants to hear that.
Are you married? How is your sex life?
Okay, I love that. I love that.
No, you're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. You think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
Right, so bold, but I apologize in advance for searching for that. Okay. I'm glad that only appeared once. I also said betrayed, didn't I? Okay, maybe it was just the one time. Oh, so it registered the high from his, but not the betray of betrayed? That's a bold choice to make. Cat, can you stop that, please? My boy, do not be a menace. Do not be a menace. I'm sorry, I'll play with you some other time. Oh dear. There are actually a couple more searching for sex, but I'm not entirely sure what to... Oh, twice. 2 mentions of STDs.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. Thrown up, not. And I slept through it. The police said it was a mushroom thing. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way he would have picked dead caps.
This is,
But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Is this a case of life imitating art? Because, there was a case a bit like that in the news just recently here in Queensland. I'm pretty sure it was. At least it was an Australian case. Yeah, that's all I'll say about that. So, she may have murdered the parents. I don't know if I've searched for dead before, but I'll search for mushroom later. Oh, okay. I can't believe I hadn't searched for dead before.
Yeah. We'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. I found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Cat, why are you being like this? Interesting thing going on between those two. Apparently it had been days before they were found, and yet here's Eve saying she came down the next morning and the police didn't check the attic.
That's all that matters really, the baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby.
Quite insistent about that.
You're reaching here. And I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon's dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Did I search for cheated? I don't know if I searched for affairs.
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Did I ever search for husband either? Let's see. Cheated. Ooh, apparently I didn't search for it. I could have sworn I had.
No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon. Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday.
I guess that would have been yesterday. I wonder if the interviewer, whose side of the story we don't have, maybe suspected that there was twin swapping going on or something similar? What else did I say I needed to search for? Affair, I think? Ooh, more.
An affair? Simon wasn't having an affair. What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Is that the first time we hear that? I'm going to search for mushrooms before I forget that. And, okay, let's search for love now. No, I guess I did search for it.
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical.
How rare's that?
We had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
Notes. I don't know if I've looked for... No, apparently I have. What? Okay, just those two places. Ah, okay, I see why. I didn't search for the past tense. Ah, see, this is why we like wildcard search. Or fuzzy search. And not have to search for, you know, specific variations on a word or phrase. Let's see, unfaithful. Okay, just the one. How are we going? Ooh, we filled in a decent amount. I'm not quite satisfied though, really. What about Mum and Dad? Have we searched for that? Yes, it looks like we did. I know I've searched for attic before. There was quite a bit, but 12. I want to see if there were only the two videos where, if I search for hard, if it was only those two. Yeah, just those two videos. What about attic live? Lived? Because I know she... yeah, okay. It might just have... It looks like it was just that one. Oh, what else is there to follow up on? There's probably still more to find with Baby, but I don't know what times would be useful. I suspect the same of Mirror. Um, what else? Maybe if I search for something utterly generic, it might pull something out. Stuff that I've already seen before. I suppose that's the problem with searching for anything generic. If it turns up in this first section, I can't see it. I can't see anything else. Oh dear. Let's go back and listen to some stuff about Dad.
Yeah, when I was at school.
Actually, I don't think I've searched for school.
In the front shop.
Or shop, for that matter.
Extended family thing.
That is a good prompt for my memory.
I got a job to contribute, you know.
And I think I searched for
as a dinner lady at the primary school.
Work, but not
I
job.
said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids.
Did I search for poison?
So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Okay. Can't type. Oh, here we go.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
Poison, poisoning, poisoned. Okay. Pressure was the other one from that. Yeah, okay. What about food? Have I searched for food just generally? Alright, it looks like it's just 3 clips, which we've already seen. Let's go back to that school search. Was it that first one that?
Yeah, when I was at school.
Shop, that's it. Okay. And part as in part. Okay. Surprisingly few.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge.
Have I searched for...
It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes as a nose yet.
Wallpaper to scale. Little furniture. The lights work. Mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it. We invented all these...
I might do that now before I forget. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm quite a private person and I didn't want to get into the detail of the argument.
Okay.
Sure? Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there.
Okay, looks like I've seen those. I had a thread of thought, but It has vanished. I'm just gonna go with phone. Okay, we've seen some of, well, all of those before. How much did I search for house? Oh, okay, I haven't searched for house. That is, I would have thought I would have searched for that earlier.
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Okay.
I wasn't in the house.
That's it?
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away, so I took the car.
Wait, she's saying Simon left, huh? Hey.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. And when I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there. And excuse me. Is there a bin?
Oof. That sounded like a bad time.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Lorna.
Have I searched for those names?
That enough?
I don't know if I have.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
So, compare and contrast, right? If only you could have these two videos playing side by side, right? But yes, let's search for Doug and Eleanor, because I don't know if we've searched for them yet.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. Yeah. 1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just
Heat, huh?
yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just
Whoop. I almost want like a slow motion replay of what exactly happened there.
yes. I speak with Eleanor.
Oh,
at least
okay.
once a day.
She's holding it over herself,
Nothing
not.
much to say. It's more
Just straight up dropped it. Oh, that would have been unpleasant for the actress. Oh dear. What did I say I was going to search for? Heat? Oh, just that one. Okay. Have I searched for police yet, actually? Apparently I hadn't.
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but
A couple of other things that I want to search for aside from clothes, which I just picked up. Maybe the things that were mentioned in that replay of the what they said happened when they got back home and found the house empty. So maybe if I search for each of the rooms. Kitchen. What else was there? The kettle was mentioned only in those two videos, go figure. What else was there? Living room? Okay, new one.
like I said before, it was 3, something like that.
Maybe if I search for just numbers as well.
Saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
Have I searched for blood? Derailing my initial plans. Okay, apparently I hadn't. Oh, we're starting off with an empty chair this time. Oh,
Okay.
oh no.
I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Did they already have DNA testing in 1994? I think they did.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Ring prominently displayed on finger there, actually. I don't know if I'd noticed that before. But wait, if they are identical twins, then the DNA will be the same anyway. Never mind.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Shock also seems like something worth searching for. No, okay. Let's resume our original series of searches then.
I sleep on the right side of the bed as you come in from the door. You can tell because I have 2 pillows and he just has 1.
And I think exhausted was the other one from that video. Yep, there we go.
Yeah. I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
And before I go on and search for numbers, I do want to check sleeping and slept. Oh, okay. I wasn't actually expecting a new one, but I'm glad that there was.
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. And he wasn't there.
Okay, numbers time. All seen. Not all seen, okay.
That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in 2 places at once.
Okay, I've got a cough in my mouth, so hopefully that shouldn't interact too much with me talking.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3.
I don't know if anyone would ever search like this in an actual archive, come to think of it.
I think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder? No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3, 4 weeks ago. Simon knew from the rock.
I feel like we might want to search for rock at some point as well.
I think it was that time, the first time, at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
You think she was? I might search for that really quickly now. I don't know if I did earlier, but apparently I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Okay. Back to our numbers searching.
means if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
You're okay.
Good. Happy. I mean, ups and downs like any couple, I guess, but we've been married for over 10 years.
Okay, let's keep on going. I think all the way up to 20 should be fine. Oh, it would help if I spelled that one correctly. "17" we've already searched for, so we can skip that one. Okay, I think it's safe to say that we've probably tapped out most of the numbers. Much more filled in. Complications, I think, was... okay. Just that. And I'm pretty sure I've searched for miscarriage before, but... oh no, apparently I hadn't. Okay.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
I don't think I've searched for year before. Well, it looks like I've seen the first 5 at least, so that's fine. What about... the phrase magic sperm has just stuck in my mind. So I want to search for magic. Oh, yeah, okay. And probably sperm is also only going to be... yeah, okay. I needed to. I couldn't not. Oh dear. What other things are worth searching for? Wait, I've searched for dead. I don't think I've searched for died. Yeah, okay.
No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots.
Cute.
And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
Maybe if we search for Domino. Just those two. What about cat? Just those two, or... no, there's more.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
Maybe I should search for wig.
Have you looked at the cat flap?
And also cat flap.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows are really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
Right, that's why they're asking about the cat flap. Okay, wig. Okay, here we go.
A wig? You mean... but what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
And then the blonde wig? What?
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
And then later on, this should be her talking about... it should be Eve talking about wearing the wig. Have I searched for... yes, I have searched for Eric, haven't I? Somewhere earlier up. can't see him. Okay, let's have a look.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck
Wait.
shirt.
No, I think I remembered something else that I wanted to search for that might be more useful than stuff that you've seen before already. There we go.
Yes, I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key.
Okay, Keys has given us both key and keys, I guess?
No, I don't think it was. I turned the key, but it was already unlocked.
And presumably she knows because you turn it to the left and then it can't go any further, right?
Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too.
Okay. So that's probably the end of that line of inquiry. What about seasons? Because she mentioned summer. Okay. And I did also say that I should search for the rock. Hey, there we go.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess the rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of things went wrong, in fact, but I'm gonna continue searching for seasons. Do they call it autumn in the UK as well? Well, I'll search for fall. That might give me something anyway. No, okay, nothing. No falls down staircases or anything like that either. That's good to know. Okay, so the reason I searched for that was remembering what was said about the actual how it actually happened, but it doesn't look like there's anything particularly new on that in terms of like body parts or anything like that either. I did also... Oh, okay. Because I did have that one instance of noticing that she was wearing a ring and that I never noticed before, but I wasn't expecting this to actually...
No, he wasn't wearing his wedding ring.
I wasn't expecting that to be the context, but there you go, I guess. I searched for argument. I wonder if synonyms might give us something. Disagreement, guess not. Fight? There is one. Apparently I've watched it already. I don't remember what it is.
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once and I held his
right,
head
it's this one.
underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach and I held her head under and I kept it out. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
I do wonder if love-hate has occurred elsewhere. No, just there. Okay. And also water. No. And I suppose underwater would just be limited to that one. Yep, that clip. Okay, other things that were kind of around the house. Shower? Just mentioned in those two places. Bed I searched for already. What else was there? Not sure. How are we going? definitely filled more in, but we have some long chunks that have been unexplored. But you know what? At this point, I'm feeling pretty satisfied, more or less. Yes, no, I forgot to search for maybe.
God, I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe someone followed him back from the pub. But why would he let them in? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty satisfied. So I think after these couple of searches, I might call it if I don't find anything particularly new. Unlocked. Yeah, okay. Oh, I wasn't expecting something to be new here.
Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Coffee order. 1 cup only. Oh,
A cup of tea would be good, thanks. Just 1 sugar. Just the 1 sugar. Thanks. Is that camera recording?
yes, it was.
Black no sugar. Thanks.
That stare though.
Is that camera recording?
That stare. Black for coffee?
It's fine to me. As long as it's black and strong, I'm good.
Black for coffee. Yeah, okay. I thought maybe there might be references to strong people, but I guess not. Search for tea? I don't know if we've...
Could I have a cup of tea?
I feel like it must be a bad thing to start coughing so hard that your hands start tingling. That, doesn't seem like the most ideal situation. So I got a glass of water and hopefully that'll help.
Maybe a fresh cup of tea?
I feel at this point like I should search for cup as well. Okay. Fresh. I do wonder how much those videos about coffee and tea added to the video counter. Wow, okay. Yeah, that looks like what? Conservatively speaking, maybe 80%. 70, 75 or 80%. There's still this mystery chunk here, actually. But most of it's been filled in now, so you know, at this point I'm feeling fairly satisfied with it. So let's enter the end game. How do I buzz when I'm ready? Do I literally type in buzz? Hello, I would like to buzz. Oh no, wait, there's a call button. There it is, the revelation that we are who we are. the kid of Eve, most likely. And we are specifically looking for the reasons why she did what she did. Now, obviously, it is a lot easier to say yes if you've found the whole thing, right? But, okay, let me see if there is something for... Okay. Here it is. Does the player character find what they are looking for because of the archivist? Indirectly, yes. Because, you know, if these things hadn't been digitized, if these videos hadn't been digitized, then we wouldn't have been able to do any of these searches in the first place. So I can finally take that one off. There is also in the code book. I have offline, I suppose, gone through and sorted some of my thoughts and just labeled bits in this code book. So this is a code book from a master's thesis by Long. I don't remember their first name, but it's basically a bunch of codes that they've used for qualitative analysis. So I've said that, you know, there's an emphasis on switching from older cataloging methods to computerized databases here, because obviously this used to be a tape archive and it has now been digitized and is being accessed by computer. Old-fashioned and outdated tools and technology. I mean, look at this. In 2025, there is no way this is not outdated. Importance of copies and reproductions, especially digitization. Obviously, these were digitized, and because we didn't get the questions of the detectives, that's a whole bunch of missing data, right? Emphasis on red tape and bureaucracy in the process of using and running the archive. I wouldn't say there was an emphasis exactly, but, you know, there was mention of having, of Sam having made of SB rather, having made a Freedom of Information request. Uses and purposes. So, here, the archives have held key information needed to solve a larger mystery. In this case, we were looking at this murder that happened in 1994. Archival materials revealing secrets or otherwise previously unknown or obscure information, the same, right? Archives filling historical gaps or unobscuring the past, again, the same. Archives as a way of making sure people are remembered, kind of, yes. There was a bit in there about letters and so on and so forth. And given that also, I mean, look at this question on the screen. So you think you understand why your mother did what she did? That's a pretty remembering worthy thing, right? Archives as a means to reveal and reconstruct the personal identities and pasts of their subjects. I think this is the big one for this particular game. Going through archival materials being a very time-consuming task, with the researcher having to personally go through large amounts of information to discover anything. Is that not what this entire game is about? And there was a bit about materials that are faded, damaged, or otherwise deteriorating, and there is one here about useful archival materials deliberately removed to prevent secrets from being revealed, oftentimes by administration. I would argue that that is true of the gameplay rather than the narrative. So, you know, that's an interesting card. So, let's finish up this conversation with SB. Yes, well, kind of, honestly. I'm glad, Sarah. I'll be waiting outside. Log off and we can meet over the road. So we finally know who our archive user is. I don't actually have a thing for this in my worksheet. Maybe I should have. So I'm going to just create a small section for myself, archive user. In this case, let me just go off of a limited number of these questions for the archivist. This is a primary character, being the player character herself. PC. So gender, seemingly female, given the name. That's a pretty big assumption, but age, we don't know. Rather than saying we don't know, it would probably be more accurate to say it depends on the time when you're playing this. On time of gameplay, but by looks at least, from the model that we saw flickering in the lights, looks relatively young adultish. Race, we didn't see Simon, but we did get a description. It might just be fine to say the white here. Let's see, what else? Sexual orientation, not relevant. Physical traits. I'm gonna have to grab the screen cap for that. Let's see, behavioral traits, none really shown. Okay. I think that's all I really need to say about the archive user. Name is Sarah. Not sure about last name. We could make the guess, but it's not necessarily a good guess. Let's quit this logic session. Whoops. Oh, here we go. Roll those credits. So, I think if you went ahead and 100%ed, if you looked at every single video and, you know, sorted them into their order, it would probably be more clear. The question of, you know, are these twins? Are these multiple personalities? I'm just gonna leave it hanging. I don't think basically, whichever way it turns out, it does not necessarily matter to me as the player. I think it's in some ways nice to leave it in that kind of unresolved territory, but that might just be me. Other players would probably be more insistent about knowing the correct answer, as it were. But in terms of that final question, do you understand why your mother did what she did? I mean, I have to assume that that's in regards to the killing itself, right? But also kind of more generally, like, how did things turn out this specific way in, you know, the run-up to everything that led to that murder, right? Ooh, screen glitches ahoy. I maybe should tag that bit for later viewing. Sarah, if you're stuck, you could always try admin random or the unlock command. Ooh, okay. We can actually go back. This might actually change some things about the gameplay. Uh, they said specifically unlock command. The question is, where do I actually need to enter these?
Sure. Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round?
Okay, admin random just kind of generated a random one, I think. Just like a specific random one. Yeah, okay, so admin random typed in here just gives you a random one. The other thing that was mentioned was the unlock command. Maybe it needs to be typed in caps? No. Where does the unlock command need to be put in? I'm not 100% sure. One for the mums here, classic two-player gaming. I'm sure they would know. Does it mention another place where things can be typed in? It is still 1606, according to the clock here. The time didn't change. Well, sorry, no, the time maybe changed, but the date didn't. The date definitely didn't. The unlock command, where does that go? Because... oh, maybe like this. Hey! There you go. Alright, so I think I can add some stuff here. There is a little bit of... Actually, I am going to add this to misfiling or poor organization, often resulting in difficulties in locating materials in the codebook. Literally, the entire game is based around the fact that this is only searchable in one specific way, and there's no actual... otherwise, like... there's no actual real cataloging otherwise. There should be something here about... restrictions? Access restrictions? I am... not seeing it. Not seeing anything there. Although I am seeing in this codebook as well, archives is a medium for making information available to the general public as a service to help them understand that past and thereby make important decisions for the future. I think this counts. At any rate, I am going to make a note about the admin commands in this archive. Let's see. The logic database, here we are. Okay, session 2 info. End of credits, give admin commands, admin random, and admin unlock. One of which shows you a random video, the other of which increases the query maximum that it will display. And I should probably mention that it is our friendly SB who has given us the information that these commands exist. So, with that in mind, we can briefly, I think, have a look at some of these, and just check, have we seen all of them? I suspect that some of them we will not have seen all of. Like here.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid, and he bought me a whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
So basically, those admin things. Those admin commands are tools to make it easier for you to 100% the game. So...
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. I had served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight.
So it's a little bit easier to 100% when you can see more at once, hey? Eve only gets mentioned 7 times. Now, access is still limited to the first 15 entries, but it is definitely... you can see more like this than you could before, right? It becomes a lot easier.
Fine. I've never had my fingerprints taken before. I once put my hand on the oven.
Ooh, that's no fun. Might actually, How did I not search for that before?
Fingerprints. Yes, yeah. I would have cleaned them. I changed the sheets too. Were the fingerprints in all those places? Could they have been my parents' fingerprints? I'm not sure how long they last for, but is that possible? Really? Go on then. Take the cup. Run your fingerprints. They'll match. Fucking idiot.
Gosh. That was quite strident there. We'll just go through all of the big ones that seem like they may have had extra stuff in them, I think. And then we'll call it quits. Ooh.
Must think it's very cool that their dad is a police detective.
Different dad. Mentions of Glasgow.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's
been discovered?
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
I don't actually know if I've searched for hospital.
It's like I told you before. I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E to get the okay. Everything was fine. Slept in the car. When I woke, I tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
That's a pretty big realization to have, right? That one person is more important to you than another, even though you're close to both of them. Might briefly search for a hospital later as well. Where were we? Did I do this one already? Let's see. Oh, we've got a couple of new ones here.
I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt. Why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
He hasn't phoned because he's dead, and you know it.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure I did.
Those must have been some very evocative pictures, right? In order to get that kind of reaction. Okay, let's see, what else is there? 9 things.
I wouldn't say that. It could be passionate. It's just, it was more than that. It wasn't just sex like I had been with the other boys.
There were emotions involved, presumably. Okay, dead. Nope, all seen. Notes. Seen the first half, at least, of those. Did we already search for baby? Yes, we did. Having a look at the, ridiculous searches I did towards the end there.
Yes, like a story. A beginning, a middle, and an end.
Did I search for story again later on or no?
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
I could have sworn I searched for guitar, but I guess I must not have.
drove in here because I remember well I went over the river, and then there was a church there. Yeah, and I probably I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. There it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
I assume that is over in Glasgow way? I know nothing about the layout of the UK, to be quite honest. Or of Britain, at least.
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one.
Did I search for OK? I don't think I did. Wow, I should have searched for that.
Okay. I'll try my best to remember. Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect?
And then I guess they wavered back and forth on it for a while.
No, I'm okay. Fuck. Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name.
As you do.
We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
Okay. Let's keep going. I feel like there shouldn't be too much more, right? I mean, I could check, but let's get through all of these first, and then we'll have a look at how much more there is. That's pretty exhaustive of those. Scroll down past all of those to later searches. Eric, who showed up 14 times in conversation. Oh, another new one.
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off.
I almost think I should. I almost think I should start searching for swear words. Almost. Oh, hello, kitty. And, oh, no, wait, we did this already, didn't we? Yeah, it has re-entered them in search history, so let's have a look at the DB checker. It's actually, like, almost complete now. I'm really surprised I didn't search for suspect earlier.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband. This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions. About me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
What's that latest? Ooh, there. Most of the stuff that we haven't discovered is from this specific interview with the blue shirt. With the black shirt. But you know, I'm pretty happy to just leave it there. One thing about archives is it's hard to see all of them. So, I think I'm happy to call it a wrap on her story. I will I don't think I need to add anything further to my worksheets for this one. I'm completely happy with what I've got down on them. So that will be it. Next time will be Hypnospace Outlaw. I'm basically going to go have lunch and then I'm going to jump straight into it. So I'm basically recording these two close to back. But of course, if you're watching this, it will be different videos. So I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.